Left Wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
Welcome to the Left Wing King podcast. Today we'll be talking about our good old boy Rudy Giuliani and his defamation case. We're going to talk about old people serving in Congress, and then we're going to talk about Ron Desantis and his lovely trip to Jacksonville. I want to thank everybody out there on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and Google for joining us for this podcast. And I also want to thank everybody watching live on Facebook and YouTube. Now, please feel free to post a comment and we'll share it during the live stream. I am your head moderator in charge of HMIC Malik, and I'm joined today by my lovely queen, Walanda.
What up?
And my man, Ace.
What up, what up?
Let's get into it, baby. So, Giuliani was found liable for defaming Shay Moss and her mother, Ruby Freeman, after making false statements about them in the 2020 election. Now, Giuliani claimed that they engaged in voter fraud, and we all know he lied. He ain't tell the truth about none of that. Now, what we want to do today is we want to talk a little bit about the case, but then we also want to discuss why he was found liable for doing this. Now, Walanda, I know you wanted to help people understand defamation and get into defamation 101. So we'll start off there.
All right. Well, first of all, defamation, as far as the case itself, is one of the most expensive. You have 4 elements that have to be complied to. So first is publication. So a statement must have been communicated to a third party. Falsity, which means you demonstrate the statement is false. Fault, so it has to be something that was negligent or malice in its intent. And then harm, cause harm to your reputation. Now, as we know, Giuliani is the co-defendant of Trump and uses the whole cloak of victimization. So when you use that, of course, and now you're found as being faulty, that's a definite interest for Trump because he uses that as far as victimization all the time. As we know, like as far as on the world stage, it plays a part, but in court, it's just the performance.
Definitely.
Wow. I mean, just let this be a lesson. Just leave old black women alone. Hands down. They do not play and they do not know. But I mean, what they did to Ruby Freeman is just horrible, man. They just basically asked her to lie, take the fall on all their falsehoods that they were doing. And Rudy Giuliani was the guy that pushed that agenda, man. And if I'm correct, right before the show, we're talking about like basically even with all that going on, he pretty much just ignored the court.
Yeah,
that's why he ended up being in trouble. But yeah, in end of the day, man, what they tried to do to Ruby Freeman and her daughter, they try to push their character and shout out to strong black women to stand up to nonsense because that's basically what Ruby Freeman did. And I mean, Giuliani's gonna get what he deserves.
Yeah. I will say this. Giuliani always been known as a fighter, man. He's a fighter. He's a dude, like he's throughout his career, like as a in New York as an attorney, as a mayor, everybody said, Rudy Giuliani was strong, he's a fighter. He just kind of folded up like a cheap tent, man, for this one. Like he went out there and made all this noise and said all these things about Ruby Freeman and her daughter. And then when it was time for him to back up what he said, have proof, bro. Where's your proof? Where's your proof of voter fraud? Because in order to your point about defamation, you got to prove that you weren't lying.
Yeah.
That you, as a public figure, that you have something to back up what you were saying.
They don't have nothing.
Nothing. Or he is hiding something.
Yeah.
For some reason. Like what happened, like to your point earlier, the Ruby Freeman side or her attorneys, they put a subpoena out there and said, hey, we want you to provide these documents. I don't know what the documents were. Maybe we can look it up and find out what they were. I don't know. But they were asking him to provide documentation. He never supplied it. If he's so big on you, they lied, they were doing voter fraud, why not? Here's the proof. Here's why I said what I said.
That don't exist. That's why.
It doesn't exist. and let's say they asked him to give like his text messages for that month.
Oh yeah.
Or his emails. Or what if they were asking for something like that? That's incriminating. And at the end of the day,
that's true.
He was found liable because he did not want to fight the case. He was found liable because he would not provide information or subpoenas and came up with an excuse. I can't afford to get the documents.
Yeah.
Bro, you're a millionaire. You can't afford a flash drive, nigga.
Rudy Giuliani broke.
You ain't got no hard drives, nigga, with your information on it. You can't attach a document to an email, nigga, and send it to the court. What? Huh? I'm like, man, this dude, to me, he's hiding something. And he's protecting himself and he's protecting Trump from criminal charges that they might get, because to me, he could easily provide that information, whatever it is.
Yeah, no, Fannie Willis is on that ass. And I think that your point is, in his defamation case, if he has evidence that proves that he defamed her character, but then it's incriminating in that
he's not gonna show
Georgia
it.
case, he ain't gonna show that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he's not gonna put himself. Rudy Giuliani's a lawyer, so he knows.
Yes,
exactly.
So he knows. So he's probably just gonna bite the bullet on his defamation case, so he can protect himself against the other one, because
exactly.
Yeah, because it's
that's exactly what he's doing. It's kind of like Fox. So you remember Fox had the Dominion voter fraud, like the defamation suit brought against them by Dominion.
Yeah.
And what Fox did was, Fox was like, they were going through court, and Fox was like, they was gonna fight it. Then all of a sudden, they were like, okay, we want to bring in your host from your shows and ask them questions under oath. They was like, you gonna put our host under oath and ask them questions, and they gonna have to tell the truth?
Yeah.
Now we'll settle out. They settled for billions, bro.
Yeah.
And instead of going and fighting it, this is what I don't understand sometimes about the right, that they say that there's all of these conspiracies and things like that, but then when it comes time to prove them, they fold up.
Oh yeah,
they settle. They don't provide the
information.
The information. All of a sudden, they ain't got no backbone.
Because they know their agenda is not the truth. Their agenda is causing chaos. Yeah. I was talking to somebody about that this week. I said, it ain't, because they were saying it ain't about the truth with them. It's about causing the doubt, and like they know half the population is gonna believe the doubt anyway. So it's just like if I said, hey, the sun is purple.
Right.
It ain't true. I know it ain't true.
Right.
No.
But if I cause doubt with that, then somebody's gonna say, that ain't purple. Or what's your definition of purple? Or whatever the case may be. It's the same thing here. It's all to do doubt. You know what I'm saying? Just to cause doubt and cause confusion. And you see, they just got rid of Tucker Carlson. They didn't want him on there at all. You know what I'm saying? With Fox. So same thing with it is, we all know, and everybody knows that Giuliani and Trump, when they went to Georgia, they were pushing with fraud electors and trying to find votes. We all know it was corrupt down there. Everybody knows that. Blind man can see that.
Right.
The game they playing now is prove it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing with this defamation case. They don't want to just lay out the proof there. He'd rather say, well, I which he did, but he knows there's something in there, like you said, that he's hiding, that he doesn't want nobody to see.
Exactly. So that's the bad thing, man, is that their attempt to cause chaos is embraced by people. And even when the truth comes out, they still believe the lie. That's the part that I'm confused about. Like, we have Republicans who say, yeah, well, the election was rigged and it was stolen. Okay, well, now you got a defamation suit against you for millions of dollars. Now is the perfect time for you to go out there and provide proof that the election was rigged and that you're not lying. You did not defame this person because they did do voter fraud. So prove it.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not going to give that to you. I'm just not going to give it to you. And I'm going to say I can't afford to do it, even though I'm a millionaire. But you still have Republicans who are saying, oh, okay, well, I'm going to justify his reason for that, even though he's not providing proof. This is the perfect time. Give me that proof I've been asking for, that everybody wants to see. But the Republican Party is still embracing these people, even once their lies are revealed. That's the part that's sad to me.
I mean, yeah, it's like, it's not about being, I want to prove that I'm right, even I'm wrong as hell. It's important for me to say that I'm right, and I'm going to stick by me being wrong. You know what I'm saying? Regardless. and I'm gonna try to win elections by any means necessary. Like, end of the day, what's going to be resolved if their lies and everything goes through? Your life's not going to change. It's not going to get any better. They're just looking out for themselves and how they can line their pockets and make things better for their families. And they'll do that by any means. That means even if your family's going to suffer by doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get it, understand it either. Like, why are you supporting something that you can see with your plain eyes and common sense is telling you that's wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. Well, this is why it's the we're now in the age of information evaluation, where you got to be able to distinguish what's credible versus non-credible, and that's why we keep talking about sources and being reliable and misinformation versus fake news. And so that's the age that we're living in. So you got to make sure that critical information is being pushed out, as well as credibility. Y'all is a word, and so is integrity.
Well, I mean, it's like, who's this person is bringing up all this evidence to make Trump look bad? Like, what?
Right.
Who's the puppet master behind this? Is just got it out for Trump that bad that all of these 91 counts.
It's just fake. All right. We're just making up information. We're just.
They would think he was Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, nobody's out there plotting against Trump like that.
No.
You know right. Don't it make more sense that he's out there trying to make things better for himself by lying? Don't that make? And then the thing is, not only is he lying, he'll come up and tell you he was lying.
No doubt.
And they'll be like, that came out of his mouth. What are you talking about? He told you that.
Yep.
I mean, let's go back to even the COVID thing. When he did the interview and he said he knew about COVID after he told everybody he know nothing about COVID.
Right.
And people still like, I mean, I don't know what else he got to do.
Right.
And I used to always say that about Trump when he was in his presidency and things were coming out about him. I used to always say, what does this dude have to do to make people realize like he ain't up to no good?
Right.
And he ain't reached that limit yet.
No. And credibility is equated to ethical conduct. Do people understand that?
Yep.
That it is equated. It is aligned to each other. So without your credibility, you don't typically have good ethical behavior. So I'm like, and he's lost that. So I don't even know how we still online with he's telling the truth about anything. I mean, he's kind of shot himself in the foot quite a few times. And so has all his other friends or cronies or whatever you want to call them. They're all in jail.
Yeah. Everybody go to jail
but him. Okay.
Everybody go to jail but Trump.
And he's still credible. All right.
People catching cases left and right around Trump, and people still rolling. Like,
and it's all for some, like you said, there's some puppet master out there, somebody who can control all of these different states. They can control the federal, they control everything. And I don't get it twisted. I know there's some type, like Big Brother exists, right? But the president is damn Big Brother. Okay. The former president got more power than most people on the earth right now. I mean, so if anybody could pull strings, he's the one that could pull them. Yeah. He's the one that could get things done. He's the one that can make shit happen that you don't want to happen. There's nobody else out there above him with some skull and bones, crossbones thing on somewhere, hiding in a hole somewhere with a group of people sitting around a table saying we're going to control the whole world. Okay.
Yeah, they get to get their heads out of these damn superhero movies. I mean, Lex Luthor don't exist, bro.
Exactly.
He ain't just out there just, causing havoc. And
some master criminal.
Yeah, and Superman gonna fly out there. Nah, what's in front of your face is in front of your face, man. And it's just we used to like Giuliani.
Yeah.
Remember when the world liked Giuliani?
Yeah.
That wasn't too long ago, man. That I mean, and look at, I'm not in New York because I know if you live in New York, just like with Trump, y'all got your own opinions about the politics and the people in New York. So I know that, if I was probably a New York resident, I have a completely different outlook on Giuliani, definitely on probably Trump. But like, what made him be like, well, I'm just going to be this dude's henchman? You know what I'm saying? It just,
money.
I mean, it ain't even money because ain't like he even paid him.
I think at the time it was money.
He might not have paid him, but he got money.
No, I think it was more relevance. Like,
that too.
Yeah, I think it was more relevance.
That too.
But he was big in New York, though. Like, I found out about Giuliani because what he did for New York. So it's strange that even his daughter said, she's like, I don't know what happened to my father.
But I think to his
he
point,
really was for the people at a point.
He was famous. He ran for president after that, right? And then, like you said, he kind of went out of public view.
Yeah,
he wasn't relevant anymore. But he jumped on the Trump's coattails, and that helped pick up his relevance again. But to your point, he also was in a position then to get money, not from Trump, but from outside people who want to get influence from the president,
Right.
who want the president's ear, lobbyists, all of those things. So he had access to more money, more power, more fame, more relevance. And he just was willing to, like, I guess, sacrifice his own ethics and morals for those things. And he still is. Like you said, they will never admit to lying. Like Fox News Dominion, they settled. What does that mean? To me, it means you knew you did something wrong and you don't want to fight it. It costs too much to fight it in court and you don't want to fight it because you're going to lose. So you settle. Giuliani, I'm not going to say that I lied and they weren't voter fraud. I'm just not going to give you the information you want and then you'll find me guilty because I'm not cooperating with the court. But I'm never going to go in there and just
say I'm guilty,
to say that I lied on them. The hard line stance that they take, they will be willing to say, hey, I'm going to get sued. We don't know how much yet, for probably millions of dollars because I want to keep the lie alive.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's real nuts.
That's crazy, bro. That tells you one or two things. The lie is really important, or these motherfuckers got too much money. If they just like, you can sue me for a few mil and I just want to keep the lie alive. So that's chump change. Giuliani ain't supposed to have no money. He ain't got no money for documents.
Right.
But you gonna let these motherfuckers take millions of dollars from you? You ain't got money for a flash drive, but you can take my millions of dollars.
He can't send nothing to the UPS store, man.
Yeah, he can't go to Kinko's, FedEx Kinko's.
Can't get nothing sent. Here's the crazy part. And I always look at it from the regular man. Like Ruby Freeman's regular people.
Yeah, she don't have money like that.
So she's regular people. They threw this lady in the limelight. They put a name out there. She's getting threatened. She can't go nowhere and all that good stuff because of their power grab. It's basically what they're trying to do. But let's flip the script a little bit. The same week, all the Proud Boys and all that got sentenced. For their participation in January 6th.
18 years, 17 years,
17 years, 10 years.
Nothing.
Well, regular people still. These guys have no power. They don't have anything. They just believe in the ideology. And they're going to prison. They're doing prison time, fed prison time. They're doing them years.
Happy to serve.
Yeah.
For Trump.
Yeah. And why? Like I don't get it. Well, I can't name one situation that happened from what Trump did that the guy's like, my life's better for this.
Nothing.
You're going to prison. One dude's wife went to prison with him.
Or even if your life isn't better, let's say I sacrifice, like, because sometimes you sacrifice and get in a worse situation for something else, for someone else, they didn't even sacrifice. It's not even for a sacrifice. It's not even like, they can't even say, well, I'm in prison, but this happened.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing. Nothing came from it. He's not president. You went up there and did all that for nothing.
And okay, let's say lo and behold, man, I don't like to speak. Let me give you some wood, man. This wood.
Yeah.
I don't like to speak nothing in existence. But let's say this fool did become president. You think he's gonna pardon you?
All of them.
He's not.
Himself or them?
Them.
I think he will pardon the big people.
He's not gonna
big names. He will.
He's not gonna pardon. I don't believe so.
He's done some already. He will.
Yeah, I have no belief for any reason he's gonna pardon anybody. Because to pardon them, not only that's not gonna be enough. I think he's gonna think, I can pardon them. Then they're gonna come out. Then they're gonna want something when I pardon them because they still did time.
Yeah,
they gonna want money. They gonna want a position.
Well, I'm a
sing. Better for me just to leave him in jail.
Right. Or I'm gonna sing. I mean, I would.
I think he's that narcissistic.
I do too.
To that he would do that. Like he's gonna get there, and guess what? None of the people gonna get pardoned
because they know.
Like you say, maybe a couple of figureheads that make him look better politically,
right?
But a lot of these cats that just went and just walked in the building and
they ain't getting nothing.
They ain't getting nothing.
Like if Giuliani went to jail, he would pardon him. Like these Proud Boy dudes, probably not. Like maybe the top one, the one dude, I can't remember his name, but the rest of them probably not. I mean, I can see that he would probably pick and choose.
Yeah. If it's gonna give him some political gain,
right.
It's gonna make
kind of like how he's picking and choosing with like who he's helping with legal fees and things like that. he's not helping everybody. He has a little fund for Giuliani, but he's not giving him his money or getting him a lawyer. But the custodian, he's hooking him up with a lawyer, and he's picking and choosing. He's thinking it through, and he's using a strategy of some sort.
Harrison
I don't
Lloyd,
know why.
Harrison Lloyd getting a lawyer?
What's that?
Harrison Lloyd ain't getting no lawyer.
Nah, hell nah. He ain't getting nothing. You better shut up and just try to come up with some. What did he get out now?
He got out.
Yeah.
Then he went on Steve Bannon's show.
Yeah,
You
he
know
did.
that,
He
right?
sure did. Yep.
This dude, like,
Man.
yeah, man, it's just, yeah, man, I just don't, I don't understand, like, what will make you get down with somebody like why?
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't know, man.
I could even say if people say I'm getting out, he's gonna throw me, $50K or something. You was
Right.
getting that, but he ain't even doing that.
Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, with this topic, man, I think Giuliani, he was found liable because he didn't want to give up his boss. That's what I think. I think there's evidence or something in the documents that they're asking for that he's like, I'm not giving that to you. I'm just gonna bite the bullet. Or maybe Trump even behind closed doors said, "Hey, man, you can't give them that. I'll pay if they like sue you for like $1 million. I'll pay it for you." And he's probably like, "Okay, I won't give him that." I don't know what wheeling and dealing is happening in the back room somewhere, but something is happening that made him say, "I'm not even going to try to prove that I defamed you. I'm just going to let you win this case, and I'm not going to give you the documents because then it becomes public record, and then everybody knows exactly what the hell we're hiding and how these conversations went on in these back rooms." So maybe Trump is paying for this. And maybe he's going to pay whatever he gets sued for. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I think they're just both, old liars. And speaking of old people, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell hit the pause button one more again.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this is the second time in like a little bit over a month that he's had this happen, right? And it's raising questions about his fitness to lead. Now, with the president falling over sandbags, Mitch getting stuck like Chuck, we got 90-year-olds like Feinstein and Chuck Grassley in the Senate. Is it time for us to start thinking about age limits or term limits for these politicians, mate? What do you think, man?
And let's not leave out Trump. Trump's 77.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
don't let
the average
toothpaste and the tan
age
fool
is
you.
like 60, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't let his tan and toothpaste fool you.
Oh,
He's
no.
old.
We know that.
He look old.
But look, Feinstein's in a wheelchair, bro. Chuck Grassley is on a cane. Okay, these dudes was born in 1933.
33. That's Great Depression, bro. Yeah, that's Great Depression, man. Like that's, I mean,
Look,
I don't even know, like, that ain't even calculators. I don't even know.
Abacus.
Abacus. I mean, that's when you had to know how to do long division.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just, when you was doing math, you had to do math. You had to go to people to get your calculations.
Hey,
like you just didn't.
They could tell you like this inflation ain't shit. What you talk about inflation? Talk about the depression, fool. When I was born.
Depression. Like, shoot, that's before TV. They out before TV.
Bro. They was listening to the radio.
Oh yeah, man. Like that's a long damn time.
Bruh.
Before World War II.
Yes.
Like
they almost could have enlisted, okay? That's
when people caught the train. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to go to New York, you had to jump on the train. Like, could you imagine taking the train to like California? Nigga, like,
some people didn't even have cars back then. They were still on horse and carriages.
God dang, that's old, bro. Like you just
the whole industry went away. Like the horse and carriage. Like, was electricity even around back then? I think it was. But...
yeah, electricity was
there. I'm like, damn,
ain't that
these motherfuckers got damn oil lamps.
Yes.
Come hither.
Oh my gosh.
Like, they were still carrying swords back then. Like,
come
on. The nigga in the Senate, they're like, what the hell? With a sword on it. They're like, nigga, like,
shit.
And you hold it up in here, nigga, like, it's an open carry case.
They were smacking niggas with gloves back then.
Nigga challenge you to a duel and shit. Nigga, like, I challenge you to a duel. Pow. Like,
these niggas, man.
10 steps.
Shit.
I can't with y'all.
Oh man, yeah.
Hey, real quick, we got some people online. We got Peter Milner, my boy Peter J. Milner says, "Afternoon, all. What's going on, Peter?"
What up?
Nice to
What
have
up?
you, my friend.
What up? What up? Yeah.
So he also said, we have Boris here in the UK.
Mhm.
Even his charisma wasn't enough to save himself. So what gives with Trump? Why has a rich, granted, but otherwise nondescript individual got such a cult following?
Yeah. I mean, you know, and I mentioned this a little bit last week. Like, he ain't your dude, man.
Yeah.
Like, Trump is not the people that vote for him. He's not your guy. He's
No.
not one of you, bruh.
No.
Right.
Like, he's a New Yorker, lived in the city the whole life. Don't get his hands dirty. Don't know a hard day's work like that.
Mhm.
Just you ain't even seen him do the old school politician. Let me take my jacket up and roll up my sleeves. Act
Yeah.
he don't even do that move. You know
None
what
of
I'm
it.
saying? Like,
None of
so with what Peter's saying, man, like, you know, how is this like yo working class hero? I don't
Well,
get it.
The thing is, influence and leadership inspires confidence and loyalty. And he has that. Now, how
Yeah,
he
he
got
do.
it, I have no idea. But that's the biggest thing. Influence in his leadership is inspiring his followers. So we have to understand is we really need to question the followers of what is so inspirational
Yeah.
about his actions and what
And
he's done for you personally. Because I don't think they can really answer that question.
Nah.
For some reason, they're inspired by them. But if you ask them specifically, what has Trump done from you? They're just, well, he's a good businessman. Okay, how does that directly impacted you in your life?
Right.
And
even
they can't answer that question.
yeah, and even to that, like it kind of goes back into like these old politicians. Like to your point, leadership, the influence, their name recognition,
Right.
these things that have kept them in. Like Feinstein has been in office since like 1992. She's been a senator. She was in politics since 1960. Grassley has been a senator since 1980. He's been in politics since 1958.
Mhm.
All of this experience, like it
Right.
gets people to feel confident in them, and they just, no matter what they have or haven't done. I bet you Grassley and Feinstein, even Biden, Trump, like you said last week, what have they done? What substantial thing have they done that's changed things or made life better in these 40 years that Grassley, 43 years that this man has been a senator?
What has he done?
What has he done? And you can look back at some of these things, man. And like, this is what some of the things that I like to do. You can look back and see what they voted on, like before
Yep.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, they lucky that they wasn't in Congress like in the 60s. Because then we'd be like, okay, so where did you vote on like civil rights and things like that? Because it wasn't no unanimous decision.
Oh yeah.
Mm-mm.
You know?
Yeah, like you know, yeah, they old enough to where they were racist and it was okay.
Yep.
Yes.
To now, you know, it's like
So what are they thinking today
like,
when they voting on stuff?
they-
Right.
it
And
was
people
like,
do change, but I would be very intrigued to see what was your voting history in the past. But now it's on record. And I tell people, go look at their records. You keep saying they're your champion. If you look at some of the reasons or some of the things that they voted on, they ain't champions for you.
well, you said Feinstein started. She got into public office in 60.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, that's when JFK was elected. She shook hands with JFK.
Right.
You
She
know?
might have.
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying,
her
what
public
I'm just
office
saying-
was more like,
She's a
was she on
Democrat, right?
Like, yeah, she's
Okay.
a Democrat.
Democrat.
She was
Okay.
more like parole board and shit like that,
Yeah.
and she got appointed.
Well, I
and
mean,
voted
technically, is what I'm saying. If you look at the timeline,
right?
Right.
Exactly. I got you.
you
And
know,
do understand we're talking about Democrats and Republicans. I don't think anybody 85, 90, 70 something, to me, I don't think they're in the best interest of all of us.
Nope.
Because I'm telling you, when I get 70 something and I'm retired, I ain't worried about none of y'all. I'm
okay,
not.
Well, I'm saying
You
Civil,
know.
Civil Rights Act was passed in 64.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even in a law to treat
True,
black people good.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
You know, Martin Luther
They-
King was still walking around
Wow.
for real.
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Both
Right.
of them. I know I'm picking on the 90-year-olds, but man, they lived in a time where they probably didn't even see black people in their neighborhoods.
Right.
In the they
Because
like
segregation. There was
yeah,
still
there
In
segregation.
was-
their life, in their
Mhm.
world.
in their world that they probably never even interacted with that's a black person. I saw one. You know,
Yeah.
like that type of world is the world they lived in.
And if it was like the dude serving them food or something like that.
Mhm.
Exactly. A guy at a hotel.
Yeah.
They on the elevator, the bellhop, or some shit like that.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That is it, bro.
We're still entering the back door,
Yeah.
not the front door.
Mhm.
And they still casting votes on legislation. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just
Still today,
yeah.
Yeah.
making
for real.
decisions.
And then like, you know, legitimately can't do their job and just well, you know what? I'm just gonna stay and keep doing it. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
where
let's
they do
get on
that at?
Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
nowhere
Yeah.
except politicians. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the
Oh,
only
I
place.
gotta tell y'all about that one. So
I took a damn long break at work and they was questioning me like, You good? You might have to go to the doctor. I'm damn, man, just
I'm-
had to use the restroom.
Right.
yeah,
boy.
what's
Like,
going on? Like,
I looked up information because he saw me. I was like, let me look up information on burnout, right? Because why would somebody stay in a job? Because you know that politics is a job, right? This is a profession. This is somebody supposed to be a profession. Okay. So you have burnouts. I tried to look at the age, like when does burnout happen and what professions actually burn out. And guess who's not on the list? So number one is health professionals, healthcare, then emergency services, social workers, teachers and educators, when I'm in, is number 4. Mental health professionals, 5. Legal professionals, journalists, corporate executives, customer service, so anybody in the customer service industry, IT and tech, retail, nonprofit sectors, freelancers, and then parents or caregivers. Guess who's not on the list? Politicians. So
and
why
drug
would
dealers. Drug dealers ain't on there.
yeah, drug dealers do that. Because it's supposed to be a good job to have. So you don't even have burnout. Like I'm tapping out now. I'm tired already. So they don't have burnout. Why do you not have burnout? What's good about the job itself that you stay in this position for 40, 50, 60 years?
well, there's a few things. Like
Right.
to me, first question is, let me ask you guys: do you think that anyone will ever put age limits or term limits on Congress?
No.
It's job satisfaction. They're obviously very satisfied. Why would I?
Okay,
If I was in, I mean, people do stuff in their best interest, you know, and that's the
Right.
problem. They're supposed to be public servants serving us,
Mhm.
but they're serving for their own best interests. And
Oh,
in
yeah.
that case, why would they limit their money? Why
And
would they
that's
limit
the
their
point that you just
satisfaction?
made.
Yeah,
like-
they're gonna
Right.
they still get in the bag. That's why.
Right.
right. So,
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
well, to your
Or
point,
they
why
do that.
would they do that? Because
Right.
when you say that, one thing that we need to make clear is they make the laws. They're legislators.
Mhm.
So, in order for there to be term limits or
They have to
age
vote
limits,
against themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
they got to vote against their own interests. Exactly what you were
And their
saying.
own interest.
Like, why would somebody vote against themselves being able to do their job? Now, second thing, you brought up burnout, right? So the second reason why is because their job is easy AF. Okay,
They don't burn
they
out.
have a staff who
Right.
who wants to work till they 90. And our job, nigga, I don't want to work no more now. I mean, who wants to work till they 90? Everybody talks about I can't wait till I retire. These motherfuckers is working at 90, and it ain't because
Yeah.
of the fact that they care about the country. Because, like
No.
I said, they have not done anything substantial to change the country and make it better anyway. But their job's easy.
Right.
So if you have a staff, you've got lobbyists, and for those of you who don't know, there's companies out there who have a template that they write and they give to the lobbyist, and the lobbyists take that template
Yep.
and they fill it out with what bills and what laws they want. They just use the same template and then they give it to whoever they're working with, the lobbyist is working with in Congress. And they just look at it. They have their staff look at it and say, okay, well, yes, check this, that. No, we're going to change this. No, go ahead and change it to make it say this instead, and we'll agree. So they have templates. They have those shits filled out. They have the lobbyists doing the work for them. They got lobbyists paying them money. They're the talking head.
Mhm.
They go out there and talk when there's like a committee thing, or they go out there and talk when it's time to talk about the vote. They press the button to vote for the bill. You know, we had to be there till midnight. Motherfucker, you sit there, you just sat there and talked to people. You didn't do
Yeah.
anything. Your staff and your lobbyists and all those people do
Mhm.
all your work for
All
you,
the background.
and you go out there and you do the talking. It's like a paralegal and a lawyer.
Yeah.
Somebody does all the work, and you go out there and do all the talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they do. Their job's easy.
Mhm.
People don't want to work till they're 90 years old, and then there's just too much money in it.
Yeah.
There's the money they get from lobbyists, things like that. And you look up let's just put it this way, politicians, because you can look up Obama and say what his net worth was before and after he became president. It's a lot more after he became president. You can look up Clinton. You can look up any president you want, and you'll
Mhm.
see that their net worth was gained exponentially, or any politician really. Like,
Right.
what was her name? AOC.
Oh,
Yeah.
AOC. I should have looked her up. But
When
I don't
she
know what.
went in and she
Yeah,
was
she
like
was-
nothing. She had no money, like $10,000, some with a net worth. Look it up now.
Oh yeah.
Look
Oh,
it up
yeah.
now. There's too much money in it, and they're not
Mhm.
going to vote against their own interest and take away their money.
Giving up the
Think
bag.
about Grassley. He been a politician. He been a senator since 1980. and let's just say they put term limits in and say you can only serve two terms as a senator. That would mean that instead of the 43 years that he's been making money as a senator from all these lobbyists and all of these people pushing money in his face, he would have only had 12 years. That's what's that? 20.
He'd have been out by 92.
Like, yeah, 31 years.
Yeah.
Difference of money, of income as a senator. You think he gonna vote for that shit? He's 90 years old, still raking in the dough. He should be somewhere chilling.
Well, we just have to look at what, I mean, term limits we always obviously know is a good thing, but why? So it promotes accountability, it promotes diversity, encourages fresh perspectives. So there's a line or just reason after reason after reason to, but I think again, the money just trumps everything else, unfortunately. So we all know why you should have term limits, and that's why the president does, because he does probably burn out. Look how they look when they come out.
Yeah.
Their health is diminished.
Yeah, but
their health is diminished.
But the president's up front and center.
Right.
The president catches everything that's wrong with the country.
Well, exactly.
The senators don't. No. And they the ones that
do it.
That actually doing the dirt. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason, like, hey, you got as a president, you got 8 years to do what you need to do. Senator knows if they get in there, that can be in there
stay
for life. Dang there, you have to, especially if once you say they get their name is up there, and most people they don't think about what their senator does for them. You know what I'm saying? When they go, hey man, ain't nothing wrong in my life right now, but I'm just gonna keep voting for him.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the main person because they know they're kind of in that untouchable state to where, like Mitch McConnell did some horrible things for the country, and a lot of people don't understand since we talk about him right now, but he practically reframed the Supreme Court. And he did that by cutting the deal with Trump when he was in office. For those 4 years, he blocked Obama from being able to appointment. And then he put 3 on there. 3. And then so now and this, I think a lot of people don't understand
to make the court lean a certain way, but it's not supposed to.
Well, I don't know if they know the gravity of what happened.
Right.
So let's say everything Trump goes through right now, they can find him guilty. He still got a chance to take to the Supreme Court, and they can overturn everything.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's the gravity.
Not for the state ones, though.
That's
why the Georgia one's important.
That's why the states really were gunning for him, because they know federally he's protected.
Yeah. So I mean, and Mitch McConnell did that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
He's still trying. Not Mitch. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell did that. He made that happen. Because Mitch McConnell had the power to impeach Trump. Reason Trump didn't get impeached is because of Mitch McConnell.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And does anybody think it's interesting that he's from Kentucky? No, you would think about all the states, but Kentucky's strong, y'all, because they got Mitch McConnell. I was like, we have a Kentuckian as far as our leader, making all these decisions. I'm not saying anything bad about Kentucky, but I'm just saying, just think about that little small area, and he's very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And that's why he won't retire.
And that also goes to the second point
even though he
that I wanted to talk about was like you said, Kentucky is a small area it's one of 50 states.
Right.
There ain't that many people out there. I'm pretty sure they got a lot of Kentucky people and they have needs and wants, and that's why he's there to represent them. But not everyone, right? You there for Kentucky, fool, not everybody else. And secondly, does he even have the same motives now that he's 80-something years old and he's older? Like when I think about these older politicians, I wonder if there's a disconnect. Like you 80, 90 years old, like you don't care about the same things I care about, just like I don't care about the same things my son cares about.
Yeah.
Right? Like where's their mind at? What type of things, like you said, they're voting and things like that. So do they have are they open to change? Have they checked out? Like most people, like you talked about earlier, somebody that's like, let's think about this. Let's say you was about to retire, man, and you was, I don't know, a year away.
Now, right?
Your age right now. Let's say you was your age right now. You was about to retire in a year.
Yeah.
Would you be working as hard as you was when you was 30 years old, just started that job? Okay, you may not do that now.
I'm cutting corners now.
You might be cutting corners now, but if you was about to retire in a year, you might be cutting more corners.
Oh man, shoot! I'm retiring in a year. I ain't there. You know what
exactly. That's my point. Are they there?
No,
are they there? They 90 years old, man.
Feinstein ain't there. We know that. She ain't there.
She ain't there at all.
Yeah,
like really, physically, mentally, anything. Like But are their minds when they are there or supposed to be there? Paul McConnell, his mind frozen, so I don't know about him.
Yeah, Mitch,
but
man,
Grassley, even Biden, like, come on, bro, like, are you really into this? Like, you should be into this. You 80, 90 years old. Do you really give up? You know what I'm saying?
Your mindset shifts. It does.
Yeah, I mean, but wow, yeah, I mean, but what's my name? You say his name better. The Vivek, what's his name?
Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy.
I won't talk about him.
He's a young cat, and his mind ain't there either. You know what I'm saying?
No,
He's crazy, but he's
about leadership and getting credibility. He's smart.
He's smart. He's crazy. He's smart though. I mean, I get your point. He ain't got the best ideas and all, but he has his faculties. I think that he wants to do something. He may not do what I want to do, but he wants to do something. These cats, they just sitting up there getting a paycheck, bro. They're getting their medical. I'm just gonna stay here because I got medical issues.
They got lifetime, but don't they get lifetime healthcare? So it doesn't matter.
I don't know if they got Cobra after they get out.
I don't know. They get lifetime. They are taken care of. Trust me.
These fools get Cobra.
That's what they were saying, like to put people on their insurance. That's what AOC was coming out talking about healthcare and all the benefits. When she got into in legislation, she was like, "Oh my gosh, like y'all don't know what's happening here. It's a different world. Things that I'm getting now that I didn't have before. Wow." Like that's why I think, again, initially some of them that are newer come in and they really are true public servants. But eventually we all get corrupt. There's a number for everybody. Yeah. It's hard to corrupt us, but there's a number for everyone. And we can sit up here and say, no, I would never. Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would. It's a matter of time. That's why term limits are important, because it's a matter of time before you come corrupt.
That's right.
Some people faster than others.
Yeah. I mean, the girl Stacey Perry Silman. Mrs. Silman on the line. She said, we have to vote them out. Focus on key ones with grassroots campaigns. Even companies change and rotate their leadership to be successful for the future.
Yes.
Everybody
does it.
Let's just think about a company that keeps the same leader forever. Unless they're the founder, like Ford. He probably was a leader, but he even let his son take over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have the same. You become stale. Right? Your ideas, you have no innovation, you become stale, you don't change, you stick to what you know, it's just not good for anybody, man. It's just a bad situation all around. And I don't think that these individuals really have anyone's best interest in mind except their own. Once they get to a certain age, I think they check out.
Yeah. I mean, I think right now America's letting the people that still write checks run the country. Like the person that's in the grocery line with the checkbook.
Yeah.
You ever been in that situation?
You angry,
they run the country, and you like, dude, you can.
We've moved on.
You can tap your ATM card and keep it moving, bro. Like
you can tap your phone, your ATM card, whatever.
Don't write that check, bro.
Well, ensures fresh perspectives, and I think as you get older, you get stagnant. They're comfortable. Just like the check writer, they're comfortable in what they do. They feel like, I ain't got to learn nothing new. I'm good.
Ain't nobody got to. The cashier don't have a pen, bro. They're not ready for you.
Yeah.
And your check.
They sure ain't.
Like, have you opened up a new account and they offer you check? I'd be like, really? You're still offering checks to people?
Yeah.
Just give me
temporary checks?
Yeah, I don't need that.
Nah, I don't need that, bro.
And you can just take it in the perspective, like you just said, like they get comfortable. They get comfortable in their ways, man. Like these people, 80, 60 something years old is the average age of one of these congressmen. These are people, we ain't nobody at this table is 60 years old. At that point, you like, I've heard 60-year-old people talk. They don't give up. You know what? They say whatever they want to say.
Sorry, Mom.
They do what they want to do, and they don't give a fuck. Like they're and these people in Congress, they don't care about you, me, all of our decisions. Like they care about how do I stay here? How do I keep getting this medical, this money? How do I stay here? What do I got to say to stay?
Yeah, no, they definitely on that, man. They definitely on just trying to stay there. So, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Term limits. I mean, I think we do it. I think it's like reparations, though. It's just
we can talk about it, but it's not gonna happen.
It ain't.
They ain't giving up that bag, man. They're not doing it. I mean, it's it's sad to say But that's just what it is. And for that, we have what we have right now. We have people that are in office that are probably a little bit past their prime. Now let's take it real. When they founded the country, Ben Franklin was old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They did some great things. So I'm
Right.
not taking it away from. I'm not taking anything away from the elder statement.
Okay.
That's actually
Right.
being active and doing something. But I think it's a point where it's physical, or you just not being relevant. Then you need to probably hang it up and get going. Let's say Biden and Trump. Let's look at that a little bit. We can kind of say what they want, but I think they're in a different envelope than like Feinstein and
Definitely.
and Grassley. Even Pelosi. Pelosi's up there.
Yes.
But she
Pelosi's 81 now?
Yeah, she stepped down.
down.
She knew.
And
She
she
stepped
let
down
some
for a
people-
new
she
fresh
let-
perspective.
let
She
fresh
said
people
that.
come in. Yeah.
She
You
said
know what I'm
that.
saying? So and I think she takes on the elder statement right now. Like, come ask me some advice. I'll give it to you. I'll give you my perspective, but keep it moving because I'm going
We
to
got new
Tahiti.
people.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Let's talk about
Right.
let's
making
talk
moves.
about that though. To your point, people may not agree with me. I think Pelosi cares.
Yeah.
I think she cares about people and what's in their best interest. Now, she done some messed up stuff. Like she was supposed to be doing the COVID thing. She was supposed to, like, she went to the hairdresser when she wasn't supposed to, and whatever other stuff that she might have did that Republicans don't like. But at the end of the day, I think she cares about her people in her party. And she
Right.
was like, you know what? I'm 80, 81 years old. And she probably noticed some things were happening that she like, oh, damn, I can't remember where I put this, or I can't this, that, or whatever's happening. I probably need to step down because I need to make room for someone else who I know they're not deteriorating. But as we all get old, we all deteriorate. Okay. Nobody is going to make it till they 100 to be the same as they was when they were 20. All right. Your mind, everything. So to that end, I think that we have some people, to your point, Ace, they care and they're good at what they do. And they can still do something at 81, 82, 83, 85, 90. There's got to be some people out there who are still good and still want to do good. Do I think that's the majority? No, I don't. But I think that it's nothing is absolute. There are no absolutes in life. There's somebody out there doing the right thing that's older that can do it.
Yeah. And Pelosi stood up at January the 6th. I mean, a lot of reasons why some things got done when shit hit the fan, primarily because Pelosi got on the phone and made people start moving.
Experience, because experience does matter. I don't want people to think that we're talking about you shouldn't have experience and we just want some 20-year-old running the country or anything.
No,
but,
hell,
you know what I mean?
Nah,
But-
let's go the opposite.
yeah,
realm.
let's go up. Yeah,
What's
get
his
the
name?
extremes on it.
Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
Take his ass on somewhere. Okay.
Sit down, little boy.
You know, and just real quick, how your parents hit the like your parents became citizens that came to this country 40 years ago.
Yep.
Before Feinstein, after Feinstein, Feinstein been in office for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Already.
Exactly.
And you got enough nerve to be judgmental in this country.
Wow.
Will you take a seat back somewhere?
You just
Will
got
you
here, you
stop?
complaining. And
If
you
the Civil
rich.
Rights Act wasn't passed, you couldn't even run for office, fool.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't have been talking. Yeah,
Exactly.
You couldn't even run for office.
Exactly.
And you come in here on the
Couldn't even vote.
Boy, go
Yeah.
read your history book and realize what
real.
side the bread is buttered on.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Man, everybody trying to hit your nonsense. And
Yeah.
that's it with being here.
Okay, yeah.
You got your boy Steve was on here. He said 2-term
Steve?
limits for senators and 4-term for the House would be good.
Yeah.
Enough time to really make a change, but not a
right.
lifetime job. I agree with
Yeah.
that wholeheartedly. I mean,
Definitely.
and now I know people going to scream age discrimination, but I think, man, once you hit like 70, you should just tap out. I mean,
No, I should think it should be the retirement age. Like whatever
65?
it's 65. You know, you're retired because again, it's a profession, it's a job, right? So you retire just like the rest of us. 65. That's it.
Yeah.
It's okay to go live the rest of your life.
Retire at 65. But a lot of people ain't got that.
Right. But you know, I think you should definitely. I mean, it ensures representation.
Well, you know,
too.
and I'm really leaning toward when you physically your faculties are in a situation where you can't perform the job. Because I think that in the case in point, when you're talking about the Congress, you do need that elder statement. You need somebody who is a little more older and experienced, and somebody who is probably going to say, hey, you know what? This is a better way to do it. Because sometimes young people or people who are youthful try to reinvent the wheel.
Oh yeah,
And sometimes you need an older person to say, "Hey, listen, man, we
we
tried
tried
that,
that and did
that.
it. But
This the way it needs
65,
to
you don't
go."
think they
Yeah,
had
I'm
enough
like,
experience at that
65 is
time?
enough.
I mean,
I mean, no, I don't
mean,
need no 80,
they've had
70
a
No,
year
not
couple of
olds
saying
in
80,
decades.
there.
yeah, well,
Okay.
I'm not saying it, but I just think that 65, but me 70 may still be. When you make that age, we can argue that age. all
Right,
day.
right. Between
Yeah, the age is different
'Cause
than
some
your
people are very
physical,
healthy.
your
Yeah.
faculties. I think that's what you said at first.
Right.
Like once they get to a point where their faculties, I mean, Chuck Grassley, it seems like he still got all his faculties and he's 90. I don't want that cat in there. I'm just telling you. I mean, that's too old, man. Like I said, 65, I'm cool, 65, 70. Good with
Mhm.
that. I think that's that elder statesman. That's that individual who, like you said,
Live life.
needs to
Yeah.
let them know, hey, I've lived life. I've been here, bro. That what you trying probably ain't gonna work. Let's try it this way. Like this we haven't tried it this way though. But not shutting stuff down. That's another thing. And people know process engineer background. I'm like, look, I don't like when people just shut stuff down because to me, you need to go through a process to determine, right, wrong, the wrong path. Even if you tried it before, let's start off there and see where we get. I mean, you don't have to do it, but it could be an idea that sparks the flame for something bigger and better. So at the end of the day, I mean, we got these old cats out there. They trying to stick around, and we got Ron Desantis trying to move on. He trying to move into the president's seat, man. He trying to
Lord.
Stop, Ron.
leave. He trying to leave Florida. Yeah, he need to handle his business in his own state first. He recently went to a vigil in Jacksonville for the victims of the shooting that happened there recently, and my man got booed off the podium. Okay, now the shooting was racially motivated. Jacksonville, the area that he was at, is majority African American community that he went to, and he couldn't even open his mouth without getting booed. So what's going on there? Why did he get booed? Let's make sure everybody knows this.
Let's go ahead and let Ron know right now. You are not invited to the cookout, bro.
No. No card for you.
You can't come, bro. You know what I'm saying? God dang, Ron. You know what I'm saying? Ron, that boy. That dude, that's just the whole, you live in Florida. And one thing, Florida got a whole bunch of black people,
Mhm.
and you go out of your way to alienate yourself from that constituency. You know what I'm saying? You go out your way to go after African American studies and things that are important to black people, black history. You go out your way to do that. Now, it's a sad case that happened in Jacksonville. Sad that there's an idiot out there that just woke up one day and decided to go shoot black people. He tried to go to a HBCU first.
Yeah.
And saw that there was security and left. So not only is that, and I can't even say cowardice because what he's doing is stupid, but he definitely wasn't brave enough to take that on. So then he goes and shoots innocent people that are just working and going to damn Dollar General, So as much as I want to say, like, for instance, with Ron, like he ain't invited to the cookout or whatever, he's still governor. He still had to go.
Yes.
I guarantee you, Ron DeSantis probably, when that went down, was like, oh shit. He got to show face. He already knew. Them sisters was gonna be out there giving him that side eye look.
They was too.
And they was in unison, bro. Did anybody get the name of that senator? The one that there's a senator out there.
There's a senator who said, yeah, she said something too.
The way she looked at that, bro, that dude, man, if looks could kill.
I know you got some quotes from it, right, man?
Yeah. So in NPR, they were saying his policies caused this. So a lot of people are angry because they you put the policies in place and now we're here and now you're gonna come here and talk to me. No. So he said the shooting was totally unacceptable, saying we are not going to let people be targeted based on their race. Well, first of all, you loosen up the gun law, so you shouldn't have anybody be targeted, regardless of race, identity, none of it. You should have just said that. But anyways, so some of the laws that he passed, he has a permanentless carry. And that bill allows people to legally carry a firearm without training or a background check. Now, from what I understand, and you're a gun you're a gun owner,
Yeah.
that most of us, right, agree that we should at least do background checks,
Oh yeah.
mental health checks. But now anybody can have a gun. Just go ahead and go and get one. Also, he cracked down on diversity initiatives.
Yeah.
And the teaching, of course, like we talked about, Black history in public schools are concerns of woke indoctrination. So once again, when you're governing for all people, regardless of their identities, regardless of their sex, regardless of their race. And I think this man has forgotten that. I think he's targeted a specific audience,
Yeah.
and he's running with it.
Yeah.
But he's forgot everybody else, and that's the point. When you're a public servant, you serve the people, and those people may not look like you, and that should be okay with you. And if it's not, you shouldn't be in that position.
100%.
Yeah, he says, he uses target. You put the target on the back, and not directly, indirectly, but you basically, we know the code word for woke, and we know when you directly go when you're stirring an audience, when you go after direct things that affect a certain people,
right?
And there's a element out there that when you do that, you're going to excite them. And so, you indirectly kind of made it okay in Florida to like, all right, I'm passing all these laws against, woke and African American studies.
Right.
You telling a lunatic white supremacist that, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's okay. We don't need those.
Yep.
Let me help you.
Exactly. Or, what's going to stop me?
Yeah.
Right.
Legislation is starting to flip my way. We all know the history of the South. we really don't have to do things to stir things up there. Some of those remnants are still there. You just got to know how to say the right things and do the right things to do it. So yeah,
But some people don't know the history, because what we're doing is he's suppressing the history. So now you got the younger ones who really don't understand what's happening. Like they're clueless, and that's a sad thing for them. So they don't understand the danger that they face every day because they're not aware. It's been crazy for him.
Yeah, a whole disregard, man, on what's going on, and it's almost, I can't say it's a blessing in disguise, but it's kind of like you reap what you sow when it comes to him. Like, all your form of politics, unfortunately, have repercussions, and looks like now you got to walk into the blackest part of Florida.
Say sorry.
Because if you didn't go, we was gonna talk about you.
Right.
You went, and we gonna talk about you. You know what I'm saying?
No win situation.
No win situation. And and I go back to talking about an elitist agenda. Even when we were talking about the term limits and there's an elitist agenda with these guys that run up for office and go to Congress and do all of this, that they know that, hey, they're gonna step into a whole new world to where for the rest of their life they're gonna be taken care of.
Right.
Now, Ron Desantis, here's the funny part about it. His parents were immigrants, Italian immigrants, and came over back in the 20s and 30s when that was big, when everybody loved immigration back then, and came over, and he's the offspring of that. I think he went to Princeton. You know what I'm saying?
Who's that?
Correct. I think DeSantis graduated from Princeton.
I'm not
I think
sure
he did. I think he did.
Mm-hmm.
He graduated from Princeton. So he comes from an Ivy League elitist format.
Okay.
That's disconnected from the world, I think, a little bit sometimes.
Yep.
Once again, like you said, we were saying earlier, some of these people probably didn't see a black person in their whole life and just start dealing with them. So with that being said, he does things without understanding the black plight and the black struggle.
Right.
All right. You know what I'm saying? But now it's not also understanding when you do that, there's effects behind it. These are the effects behind it.
Right.
And now as a governor, you got to go sit out there and now pretend that you give a damn. You know what I'm saying?
And what made me mad, he didn't have any comment. That's what made me even more mad. Like they try to, talk about it. How did you feel when you were booed? Why do you think this is happening? No comment. So to me, you don't care.
You don't care and you don't know, but ain't nothing new to us. We've been knowing that.
Right.
Yeah.
But
it shows.
Because he's running for president, he got to put the facade on now.
So here's the thing that confusing to me about that. I agree with everything you just said, and I agree with everything you just said, because it's true. We talked about it earlier, how does he just not understand like the impact of what he's doing? Does he only see it from one perspective? Like you said, he comes from an elitist background. Maybe he doesn't understand what the impacts are to Black people. At the same time, he got ears.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people are telling him, or he's hearing on the news or online or whatever, how, keeping our African American studies, like, or removing them, right, is detrimental to us, right? Because people don't know about our history, so we will make the same mistake. So whatever the case may be, he's made a lot of different laws in Florida that a lot of people, women don't like, minorities don't like, all types of things. He got ears, man. I know he's hearing it, but it makes me think, like you said, does he just not understand like the implications of? So this is the important part. Like you said, Florida, there's a lot of Black folks out there. I've been to Orlando a few times, boy.
Yeah.
Full of Black folks. Okay,
A lot of Black people.
does he not understand like what the implications to his like his presidential run is, like where Black people are concerned? Does he not understand like where his standing is in Florida amongst Black people or people of color? Does he not understand how this is impacting him?
Or maybe he doesn't
He
care.
doesn't care.
Like, I mean, you could say like maybe, I'm thinking honestly, there's a couple of people that, you just look at and you just observe. I don't think he cares. I really do. I really feel that. I feel like especially after that, the Jacksonville, and you didn't comment after that situation. Nah, you're just not
Sometimes
interested.
you
Or
don't
maybe
comment
felt
because
that-
you don't know what to say.
Okay, you're right. You're right. But even on the last law, that he banned colleges from using state and federal funding for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Why? I mean, just the things that he does. I'm like, who is this benefiting? Like, who are you helping, or who do you
White
want to help?
people.
Again, I think he has this not understanding that as a servant, you serve everyone. I'm not saying you just do things for Black, because I don't want that either. You do things for everyone. That's a positive spin. You look out for everybody. He has the don't say gay bill. He has you can't use the pronouns of children. And I'm sorry, I'm in a school, and that's very impactful for people, but we're not going to get on that one.
I don't understand
the death
pronoun thing,
the
but
death
yeah.
penalty. He won't let any of that. Guns, the abortion law. He has a lot of things that impacted a lot of people that, I don't know, either he doesn't care or he doesn't understand people's plight.
And that's diverse. Like, think about it. Like, LGBTQ, women, and Black people. I mean, pretty much like
when you think of diversity, it's people of color in general. So do understand if you.
Well, I'm thinking of diversity from sex,
everybody,
color,
equity,
like all of that, like sexual preference. I'm thinking of diversity from that perspective, like and it seems to me like he's trying to negatively impact those three groups.
Well, any group that doesn't fit the norm.
What's the norm? A white man?
Well,
pretty.
Well,
white Anglo.
I mean, how?
Saxon, right?
Our country is supposed to be a melting pot. When did white man become the norm?
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of been the norm.
That's been the norm.
That's the majority.
The majority. Well, you want to say whatever, but
the norm is to cater to the majority.
Yes, it's to cater to the majority.
Here's the thing, man. What Trumpism brought back, the need to satisfy what they call the base. And that's basically what DeSantis is doing. Like, hey, there's this underlying base that Trump brought into power again. That basically all the things that you're talking about, that's important to him. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of white people out there, and let's look at it in perspective. Obama came and won the presidency
and scared everybody.
And blackness and awareness and diversity and gay rights.
Right.
All that came into full play right now because of that presidency. Like that all came to the forefront, and that was bought out. And Trumpism came in and said, no, let's figure out a way to, we have people out here that are tired of hearing about gay rights, tired of hearing about, Black people's plights and struggles. And we're going to cater to that. And then this idiot in the blackest state, one of the blackest states in the country, jumps on the agenda and makes it his number one platform. All right, and but he goes under the woke agenda.
Yeah.
But you know what's good that it says about our country is that a lot of people aren't on DeSantis' coattails, because that would be scary to see that people are like, oh,
they're still on Trump.
I feel like
Oh,
that. Yeah, true.
That's the reason.
But you know
He's
what I'm
just
saying?
Trump Jr. I mean,
But it's a good feeling to say that most people do not feel that way anymore. You know, they thought it was beautiful that Obama now could have been president, because now you can tell everybody that anybody can be president. Because I know when I was younger, I didn't think anybody could be president. If you weren't a white male, I aspire to be, because that's just not in its existence. So now we have seen that anybody can be what they want to be with hard work, right? That's what the American dream is supposed to be. We work hard. And
but some people's American dream is that that's okay as long as you're white Anglo-Saxon Protestant male. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that believe that.
Right.
There's a lot of people that voted for Obama that believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not get it twisted. That's a lovely concept, but ever since Obama's been president, the fight's been to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Or a woman.
Exactly.
Oh, I think they hate
Hillary
women
Clinton
more. I think there'll be a
president.
man before again.
Let's be
before
real.
the
Hillary
woman.
Clinton should have beat Obama.
Oh yeah. Women hate. I didn't tell y'all that women hate other women.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like let's
It's
be
crazy.
real. If you line up
Right.
who Hillary Clinton was and who Obama
and
was,
her record and her experience.
It's sad.
She should have beat Obama. And I tell you what, if she probably would have beat him, we'd probably be in a better situation as a country. We know definitely she'd have beat Trump, we'd be in a better situation as a country. So
women
as
scared
Americans,
of strong women.
Yeah, well, as Americans, what does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? There's never been a situation where you let the less qualified guy take the job and
Right.
got better. Never once. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't happen twice in a row.
Till then.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
whole nother show about feminism and women not liking other women.
Hillary should have probably been president when Bill was president.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason he got the presidency he did was because she was in that with him. We all know that.
Yeah. I told him, I was like, why is person not, like, I hate that for women, because women, like, if they're not likable, then they can't, doesn't mean they're not good at their job. I don't care if I didn't like her. I don't talk to her.
That you like.
You know?
Except George W. Bush, because I kind of like Bush, even though he was a
he's
dumbass.
But he's funny.
But I would love to chill with him. You know what I'm saying?
Michelle Obama, that's like her best friend. So we probably would have gotten along. You know? But
other than that,
that's
I like a few presidents, but
I like Barack Obama. I like Clinton.
Obama, I mean, I'm just saying, but I don't think.
But I get what you're saying.
But nobody's perfect.
Right. I get what you're saying.
I don't need a president that I like. I need a
president
that
does a job.
Exactly.
Make my life
I think that's why she was probably the best candidate for president.
Unfortunately, part of the people look at it that they like Trump.
Yeah.
It ain't because he's a businessman. That ain't got nothing to do. They in the debate, they made a comment. Pence made a comment about Ramaswamy, said we don't need a rookie in the White House. You worked for a rookie in the White House.
Yeah, what you talking
His
about?
first political job. What are you saying?
Help him get it. Yes. You helped him get it, because that's the vice president's main job, is to help the president get the damn job.
You worked with a rookie in the White House, and
He's
you got
still
him
a
in there.
rookie.
But now we don't need a rookie in the White House.
Okay.
I mean, you got to look at the hypocrisy sometimes, man, with these people. But people liked Trump.
Yeah.
He was a rookie.
Reason.
He didn't have no experience. None. I would love the person with experience. Like you said, Hillary should have whooped his behind. She had so much experience politically. It's crazy over him.
Yeah.
He wins. Why? They like him. He's a businessman.
He ain't even that.
He's a bad businessman.
Yeah.
I liked Trump back in the day, like when he was just an entertainer.
Yeah, when he was on TV.
I looked at The Apprentice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I liked it.
Yeah.
And hip hop loved Trump back in the 90s.
Yep. He was in videos.
You know what I'm saying?
He was on Home Alone 3 or something like that. I mean,
saw through it. No.
Nah.
I never liked him.
When he was just the entertainment entertainment aspect,
cool.
I think it was two dimensional. Like, I didn't know all his dirt that was behind him and all that. It was just, he was just another entertainer.
He's funny.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I like Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was
I didn't.
you know what I'm saying? But
we like Mel Gibson until he had all the Nazi
we don't
stuff.
agree. Yeah, we don't agree politically at all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just saying, so Trump was just another two-dimensional celebrity. Then.
Yeah.
When he became president and started doing his craziness, that's
but we kind of like got onto the Trump train because we were talking about like DeSantis and kind of like how he's a mini Trump. What he doesn't recognize is that he's throwing all his cards on the table to do Trump things in a state that is a black state, Florida. And he is having negative impacts to his own people because he's like, well, this is the only place that I can do affirmative action in my state because I'm the governor. I can do don't say gay in my state because I'm the governor. And these will be things. If I do these things, I will show all the Trump fans.
It's what I plan to do.
Yes, this is what my agenda is. And I want to do the things that the Trump base wants. And I can do it now. So if I do it now here, they'll vote for me because he might go to jail. And if he goes to jail and they don't vote for him, I'm the second choice. So he's trying to be Trump Jr. That's all he's trying to do. But it's a no-win situation for him. All in all, going to this Jacksonville thing, talking in front of these black folks, you should have known better. But like you said, he could not go because then they would have talked worse about him. Yeah. Like, you ain't gonna go. Blah, blah, blah. Now he's talking about not going to meet the president when the president comes there, talk about the hurricane. I'm like, bro, what? This is the man who can help you get additional funding for the people in your state.
Well, he's going.
You need to convince him that you need this extra money. Biden gonna give him the money, regardless of whether he shows up or not. But it's a show of faith. It's good faith to go out there and talk to him and let him know what your state's going through as the governor. But he ain't gonna do that. It's like, once again, that's a win. I mean, I guess for him, he feels that's probably his win-win because he don't get to interact with Biden and he can show that I don't like Biden and still get money because Biden ain't gonna not give him the money.
But nobody wants their country where we don't talk to each other. Exactly. That is the problem now, that we don't talk to. Just because I have a different perspective from you doesn't mean that we can't sit down and have a conversation and try to
bipartisanism anymore. If I can get it out of my mouth.
Yeah. I mean, like, and that's what's so disgusting about
like
politics.
I mean, and you guys are married. Y'all don't get along all the time.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
All right,
I tell him what to do, and he just.
Are y'all getting along now?
Yes, we do.
Don't bring y'all shit to the show. Don't bring y'all shit to the show.
Yes, we do.
He'll be like, and I'm announcing this motherfucker right here. Don't bring y'all shit to the show, man. No, but basically, my point is, y'all don't get along all the time.
Right. We don't agree on everything.
But your mortgage still get paid. If they're like, even though I don't care how much y'all hate each other, y'all got to come together sometime.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, maybe a hurricane is the time they got to come together and make this happen.
Probably.
You know like, when you gonna stop playing politics, man?
Right.
Yeah. When is it about the people?
Because
really?
End of the day, it's some people in Florida and Georgia or whatever case that they need something, and they ain't got time to play politics with.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a good. Who's the person out there that's saying, "Hey, man, don't go see Biden"?
Yeah.
Even though
rooting for that?
A hurricane just went through and tore up half of Georgia, but hey, man, you didn't go see Biden.
Yeah,
like who's that superficial that's
you went and talked to the president. How dare you?
I mean, man, you needed like $2 billion, man, to fix your thing, but
never mind.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. I don't understand.
And that's the thing. Like, sooner or later, you sometimes politicians, you just gotta stop playing politics.
But he's once again, that's something Trump would do.
Yeah,
Trump would not
be
go talk to
disrespectful.
Exactly. And this is what what's his name, Desantis is trying to emulate. He thinks he can get his base by acting just like him.
Yeah. Trump also asked for 11,780 votes, and I just need one. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though like earlier you were saying like, well, Giuliani, what you trying to hide? You ain't gotta hide nothing. Everything they're trying to hide, he did it. Like, what evidence are you trying to hide?
He don't want to add more to the pile.
Other than him blatantly on the phone asking for more votes than one there. Like,
that's all you really need.
That's it. Like, what are you protecting this shit? They have to protect.
They don't want to add more fuel to the fire.
He turned himself in. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about?
They don't want to add more fuel to the fire on that one. Hey, we got Christina on here. She said, Walanda, women are always hating on each other. So we talked about like with Hillary. And then Steve said, the reason Hillary Clinton didn't beat Barack Obama was because of her personality, not because of her intellect or political skill.
No,
she's not likable. Once again, to your point, it ain't your job to be liked. But that's how people vote.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why DeSantis got like 10-12% or whatever, some horrific number.
Oh, yeah. She talked about, Stacey brought up Trump because that was messed up in New York. He took out a 1-page ad on 5 innocent black boys. I still remember that nonsense. Hated him for that. Point forward.
Was that the Central Park 5? And never apologized.
Never.
So I'm saying,
even though they're not guilty, even though they had the evidence, he still
never apologized.
That's what I talked about earlier with like this Giuliani thing. They're like, they will never say that they lied, they will never. They
Never
just
apologize.
won't do it. It's
Didn't
crazy.
he say apologies was like you're weak or
Yeah.
something if you apologize?
Well,
Like
he gonna
he
be
said
weak
it's a
in jail.
weakness.
That's what he's gonna be
Oh,
doing.
he sure is.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
I hope so. Anyway,
like
Mhm.
you know, I mean,
It's funny. He also said, what did he say? He said to McCain, like something about like I don't
oh,
like
I don't want to
prisoners.
be. Yeah, people get
Oh, yeah.
captured.
People get captured.
Prisoners of war.
Well,
They're
nigga,
weak.
you just turned yourself
Yourself in.
in.
yeah,
You captured.
You don't like yourself?
You weak.
yeah. He said prisons of
He
war
says ugly stuff.
mean they losers, man.
How can
Yeah.
a person? I'm sorry. Like if you understand what character means, I don't understand how you like these people. I don't. Like if you say I'm a person of good character, what does that look like to you?
Yeah.
Please explain to me. Give me the adjectives. Because I'm sorry, you would not see DeSantis, nor would you see Trump in there. That you don't want your
Nope.
kids to grow up to be like either one of them. Stop it.
No.
Stop.
We back the thin blue line.
Yeah.
Go attack the Capitol Police though. Like you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like
Try
like,
to kill him. You know, it's okay.
Hypocrites.
yeah,
man.
it's just
It's sad.
and it's the blind faithness,
Right.
just
Yeah.
like he can do no wrong. Like,
Mhm.
what are you talking about? All he's done is wrong.
Wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
they see it. This is the thing is not, we're not saying that he has, oh, we think he did this. Like these are things he has said
yeah,
on TV
Yeah.
to you and wrote to you. I mean, these are things that comes out of his mouth,
Yeah.
not my mouth. Like he says those. And I don't know, did they not hear it or what's happening?
well, I mean,
I'm lost.
hey, you know, let me come out with my own Twitter.
Yeah.
Let me come up with my own newscast.
So I can control
Don't listen
the
to that
narrative.
over there.
Yeah.
Just listen to what I'm saying over here, because what I'm saying is the truth. What they
That's
said
called
over there is
propaganda.
that's called propaganda.
And they talk about sheep. Well,
Yeah.
that's a little sheep.
You're gonna create your own controlled media.
Because you don't like what everybody else says.
You know who else got controlled media? North Korea,
Yep.
Yes.
Russia.
And
Mhm.
that like that whole communism when they be saying you commie and stuff, and that's
That's
what
what
they
it
do.
is.
But those are his
I'm just asking.
homeboys.
Yeah.
Like, Isn't that what
He
happens?
loves them, and he's like, man, I wish I could do what y'all do, and that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, North
Create his
Korea,
own little like.
Okay.
Russia.
I'm just wondering. I was like, I think I'm missing something.
You know, is
I
if you
see
go
a
to
pattern.
Russia and ask like a Russian about the Ukraine war,
Mhm.
they think that we initiated,
Mm-hmm.
and they think that he's running out like thieves and criminals and
wow.
stuff like that. That's
Yep.
their
Because that's how they push. That's the narrative that they.
that's the narrative that they push.
Yep.
Mhm.
And Putin is the savior over there,
Wow.
you know, riding horses with shirts off and all that craziness.
Yeah.
And he's running them all off. That's the way that it's over, you know, it's
Right.
done over there. So
Yeah.
guys, that's what we're headed for. If
Mhm.
you know, I mean, CNN is gone. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna be
It's
looking
gonna
at
be scary.
we're gonna be looking at Newsmax. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And what's the
Away
name?
in.
And what's the name of the damn Twitter thing he got that is his own?
Oh, he has
Social, some
social,
True
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 social.
social.
True Social.
Lies.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know that. I was like, they kept saying, I said, what the hell is this True
I didn't know what that
Social?
was either until I was like, oh, he has his
Lies.
own.
So they got a whole nother Twitter. He's went and made his
Mhm.
own Twitter.
He did.
his own show.
Got his own shit, man.
Wow.
But hey, you know, at the end of the day, I know that DeSantis is trying every trick in the book, man. He's trying to, you know, do everything he can to just kind of create a narrative that he is the, you know, Republican savior after Trump, because he won't say nothing bad about Trump. He all on his coattails, but he's waiting to try to kind of catch the ball if it gets dropped.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So he's doing all the things to set himself up for success. This was a no-win situation for him. I think if he played it back in his head and they asked him to do it again, he probably wouldn't have went. He probably, if he knew that he was gonna get booed, he probably wouldn't have went. Just to save his little feelings. Yeah, he would have got out of it. He wouldn't
Like
have
if
went.
the debate was that day, hey man, I gotta go to the debate.
Yeah,
He would've got
exactly.
out of
I'm
there.
in
He would've
Korea.
found a
I'm in
way
Korea.
not to go. Yeah, I'm in Korea
We're
talking to my
somewhere.
homeboy.
Yeah.
You know, he would have found a way out of it if he could have. But it was a no-win situation. I mean, look at that. He would have got a backlash for not going and talking to them, but it probably wouldn't have been as bad as what he got when he went there getting booed and all them comments that they hit his ass with and them ladies, you know, talking to him. That was probably worse than him not going. Okay. So
I know
Temperature check.
I know he wanted to get the hell out of there.
yeah,
Like,
that was a hot spot.
he was probably like, man, let's go.
Yeah, let's get on. I'm
Jesus.
done talking. Yeah, he wouldn't want had none of that, man. But hey, we're gonna close out for the show for today. I want to go ahead and thank everybody who came online, everybody who is in the live streams on YouTube and on Facebook. All of our listeners out there, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. I want to thank my co-host today, my Queen Walanda, for coming through.
You're welcome.
Oh, yes, I love you, girl. And my man Ace for always being on point.
I done uncovered something over here. Now they being all sweet and shit.
Yeah, that's what we do. Because that's how we make up. That's how we stay together.
And we was mad earlier, but you know,
That's how it works.
They got a little consultation now.
That's how it works,
It's all
bro.
good.
All right. So thank you guys for joining us. We will see you again next week. Have a good one.